Take 3. Alright, hey guys, this is Mel from Nectar and UA Magazine, and I'm here today with Shariko Bakari, who's been selected as the official screenwriter and director for the Foreman Empire Productions' next big upcoming horror production titled Visitant: Dark Hours. So, tell us some of the names of the cast and who you'll be working with on this project.
Well, it took us a minute. We started casting in March. And we were kind of getting ideas of, how we wanted the characters to be portrayed, things of that nature. It was really hard because the feel of this movie is actually college students.
Okay.
So, I was thinking to myself, should I go out to, different college campuses around North Carolina to cast some kids, or, how should I go about this? And I made a mistake last time during my last production in casting just anyone who wanted to do it. And that was a big downfall for me. So this time I said to myself, I'm not just going to cast anyone. I want to cast people that actually look the part, even if they're not college students. If you're 30 years old and you look like you can portray a 23, 24-year-old college student, then I'm going to cast you, especially if you have the acting ability for it. I was kind of skeptical about casting theater, actors, because the thing people have to realize is theater and film acting are totally different.
I can see that.
Theater, you have to be dramatic and bold and, out there.
Right.
And with film, you have to tone it down to make it realistic. People have to believe that, okay, this is a normal human being. It's not a Shakespearean guy on stage, being bold and dramatic. Right. It's times for that in film, but it has to be believable. Like you and I are sitting here talking. Right. That's pretty much what film is. Because people's downfall nowadays is choosing people who don't have the experience but have the look. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you can't have someone that looks good and then all of a sudden, bam, they can't act. And we're like, well, what the hell is this?
You spend more time on teaching them to do what they're supposed to be doing in the first place.
Exactly. And so after that, another guy submitted, and his name was Devin Lanier. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. When he sent in his audition video, it gave me chills. And I was like, holy crap, like, this guy, he can do this. Minor tweaks here and there to, help him develop his film acting a little bit more, if you will. But he's going to do great. He's a great guy. He's smart. He follows directions very well. He gets things in on time, and that's the type of people I like to work with within a filming company, like mine, with Foreman Empire Productions. I always say to myself, I want people that are smart, quick, that can think on their feet, that can get the job done in a timely manner, not procrastinate, and also you can make an investment in yourself before someone else makes an investment in you. No one's going to pick you up and say, oh, this guy looks good, he looks nice, he can do this, he can do that, but does he make an investment in himself, or does he look for a handout? Because people make a mistake nowadays of just looking for a handout because I have talent. No, you have talent, you need to work your talent, and you need to make an investment in that.
Okay, so can you talk a little bit more about the investing in themselves? Like, what are you looking for when you mention that?
Well, what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for people that will, because I can't pay my actors right now. I can't pay my actors, I can't pay my production members, I can't pay anybody right now. I'm rising just like everyone else is. And with this company, my main goal is to help people like myself get exposure. And I'm also looking for people that, as I say when I'm doing horror things, that they have no limit. You know what I mean? I don't want them to feel like, oh, if I'm doing this, I don't want to sound crazy or look crazy. No, I want you to sound crazy. I want you to look crazy. I want you to do things that are weird and abnormal, because that is what makes horror so enjoyable. When people see that crazy stuff, and example, The Exorcism of Emily Rose or The Taking of Deborah Logan and all of those demonic movies, when those actors and actresses are playing possessed humans, that is them acting. Everything else is just special effects and, audio to, make the voice sound a little bit scarier or whatnot. But that is them. And people don't realize that. They think it's, that's special. No, honey, that's them acting. And that is scary. That's what you call great craft molding. You mold your craft and you study your craft. and you practice and you practice and you practice,
Right.
and that's the ending result.
How old were you when you got into film and the moment, you kind of discovered the love for it?
Okay, well, actually, I can't even remember the age. All I can remember is I was younger, I was little, and I know I got into horror with my grandparents, and that's all they watched was horror movies back to back, and I was scared, I was terrified, but as I grew older, I'm like, I'm terrified, but yet I still want to watch this. That's just like your mom says the stove is hot, and you want to go keep touching it to make sure it's hot. It's that type of thrill and that rush that I get from. I love being scared. I love going to haunted houses, things of that nature. So when I saw films and things of that nature, I can't even describe to you how it made me feel. I said to myself when I was younger, when I watch TV and I watch movies, that's going to be me one day. I'm going to be up there acting. I'm going to be directing a film. I'm going to be writing a screenplay, and now I am.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I moved all the way from Georgia in January because I had I'm a model too, so I had 2 big modeling opportunities, and I took it. And I came up here. No money, no car, no nothing. And I've been elevating ever since.
Wow.
And it's getting bigger and bigger, and here it is the summertime, and I've just finished my very first screenplay. My very first one. I've never written a script before. And I studied for months, I said my last 2 films that I made, they were okay. They weren't the best, but I was all I had.
Right.
The people I'm not going to forget are the people that's been with me from day one, the people that I've met along the journey that has believed in me and my vision and helped me with this. Those are my small people.
Right.
Y'all can kiss my what, and I don't care. Project Visitant Dark Hours. It's actually a sequel to the last film I just finished in February of this year, and that was entitled Visitant. It was a found footage indie horror film. Basically, that was about 2 friends. They go off and find a mysterious box. Once they open the box, dark and unsettling things start to happen on their lives. And it's, the storyline is really good, It's about demonic spirits and the paranormal. And, I think I did pretty good. It was better than my first one that I did, which was called Trepidation, that released last summer of 2015. But Visitant, I think I'm on the right path this time. With the first film, it was, like I said, it was okay. It's online. It's on filmfreeway.com. Just search Visitant, and it's there. If you say it's good, I appreciate it. If you don't like it, hey, it's not for you. Not everything you do in life is going to appeal to everyone.
Right.
So you find that group of people or that category that appeals to people. You make it your own, and you put it out there for them.
Right.
Once you put it out there for them, word of mouth travels fast. Social media travels fast.
It does.
All of that. So, but with this one, it's not really picking up where the last film left off. Like I said, it's about 5 college students, and basically it's the character's name is Quinn. It's her 21st birthday. Her friends take her out. It's basically their spring break at the same time. So they take her out into the cabin in the woods, maybe about 3 or 4 hours away from her home, and this mysterious package ends up at her doorstep. No one knows who it's from. It's unmarked. It doesn't say who it's from or who it's to. So they think it's, Quinn's. It's probably her ex-boyfriend that sent her a gift, But as the story goes on, they end up in the cabin. She finally opens this gift, and it's that box from the last one. Things start to happen all over again. But this time, things are more violent, things are more gruesome, things are more intense, and things are more, it's darker. That's why it's called Dark Hours. It's darker than the last film.
So, quick question. How, I guess, like, with the demonic and the spirits, how did you get an interest for that as far as, like, making it into a horror film? And that seems to be, like, something that you're interested in, the area that you like to, I guess, focus on.
Right. Well, to be honest, a lot of people might think I'm crazy because they're like, why is this guy so obsessed with demonic spirits and possessions and that's this evil witchcraft? It's not that I'm obsessed with it. It's interesting to me how these actors and actresses can make, how they can make this seem so believable. If someone says act possessed, people are going to be like, oh, and start making noises. No, it's not being possessed. You know, those movies that I told you about, and, you know, those actors and actresses that I was describing, that's what made me get interested in it. You know, I'm like, wow, I could do that. You know, I really could do that. And they just add on to the fear factor because everyone's already afraid of demonic spirits. Everyone's already afraid of ghosts because they're real. You know, like I always tell people, if you believe in a higher power, you must believe the sinister power is going to exist.
Right.
And that is a quote from the script. So, and I put that in there for a reason. That's, you know, I'm incorporating entertainment with truth and realism and basically fear factoring.
Wow,
you know, so
that is awesome.
So
So it's
yeah.
about the love of the craft.
Exactly. It's not that I'm in love with spirits and demonic stuff, and I'm not no warlock and all that crap. No, I don't believe in all that. Jesus Christ over here. I don't deal with that black magic.
Amen.
But I have, when I was writing the script, I'm not even going to lie to you, it scared me so bad. During the beginning of stages of writing the script, you know, I was thinking of different things in my head about how I wanted the possession scenes to go and how I wanted the demonic spirits to sound and how I wanted these cast members to look when they get possessed. And when I was writing it out and I would, you know, be speaking, you know, what I want the characters to say, this and that, the third, you know, it scared me so bad. It scared me because, and people might think I'm crazy, but when you're dealing with stuff like this, 9 times out of 10, you're going to experience something. And I've experienced something twice. Once I was in my room and I was writing out notes and things of that nature, and I heard something fall. You know, I was like, and it sounded like a chain, like this, you know. And it was loud, and I was like, I looked around in my room, and I'm like, okay, my chain is on me. There's nothing in here that has a chain sound. So I walked out, and I looked in every room. I looked downstairs, looked upstairs, and it was nothing.
Wow, you were alone?
I was alone. But the thing is, I know God. So I wasn't as afraid as I would have been years ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I prayed, and I laughed it off, and I kept going. Hours later, I heard the same thing, and I freaked out. I'm not going to lie. At that point, I freaked out. So I stopped writing. I put everything to the side, and I said to myself, well, Marvin, you know, when you're dealing with stuff like this is real.
Right.
You know, there is a possibility that you might encounter something. It might be small, it might be big, it might be whatever, but you're going to encounter something, and you have to be very cautious when you're dealing with stuff like this. When you're writing about demons and the Bible, and because that stuff, it's no joke.
Right.
It's really no joke, and it's scary to a point where, you know, you don't know, like, if I didn't know God, what would happen to me right now? You see what I'm saying? And it's scary. It's terrifying. But I love it. And, you know, I continue to do it. And, you know, it is what it is.
The experience
you know?
wasn't enough to scare you away.